Welcome to our course, Managing the Organization, from organizational design to execution. My name is Hüseyin Leblebici. I'm a faculty member at the College of Business, the University of Illinois. I've been working here for close to 30 years. I teach courses on management topics involving managing professional service firms, managing nonprofit organizations, and managing large corporate structures. I received my undergraduate degree from Middle East Technical University, and I received my MBA and my PhD from the University of Illinois. This course is the second part of two-course sequence on designing and managing the organization. So, given that two-course sequence, I would like to remind you that the first course dealt with the following topics. In course one, we focused on designing the organization. We tried to understand how strategy then is converted to an organizational structure. So we discussed understanding the contingencies affecting organizations and organizational design. We talked about linking strategy to organizational design and what choices we have. And then we talked about two parts of organizational design, differentiation and integration, that involve allocation of tasks, authority, and resources. In this course, we will be following that logic. So instead of talking about the design, we will assume that there is a design, but we will focus on how to manage the organization given that design to reach execution and value creation. So we will focus on four major topics during this course. We will focus on understanding the life cycle of organization and change. We will discuss structuring the decision-making processes. We will talk about shaping organizational culture through human resource practices. And then finally, we will discuss executing successful managerial succession so that organizations will have managers that will make the growth possible. So our focus has always been on the process of value creation in both of these courses. So we start with the idea of value creation. How do organizations create value? How managers facilitate that value creation? And we focus in course one, the first half of this flow chart, which started with the external environment of the firm, the internal environment of the firm, which provide us both the opportunities, the resources that are coming from the external environment, and then the internal environment, which focuses on the strengths, the weaknesses of our organization, what are our distinctive competencies, what's the leadership style we have, and how well we performed in the past. Top management teams put all that information together to create a strategy for the future. And that strategy involves, of course, not only strategy, but also the missions of the organization, some of its basic operational goals. And then this will be converted into an organizational design. So in our first course, we focus on this part of value creation process. In our course now, course two, we're going to try to understand how you actually do the managing so that you can actually execute the organization's strategy with the tool of organization. And that will, of course, lead to value creation. Depending on our success and our feedback, we then think about this, whether we need to change our organizational design, whether we need to change our organizational structure. And that's why we start our first topic as organizational change and life cycle. And as you know from our previous conversations, if you've taken course 1, we will also focus on the business model. So what are overall course objectives? Again, we need to think about set of questions we need to answer. So the first question is, how do you make sure that your organizational design can execute the strategies you envisioned and developed? How do organizations grow? Is there a life cycle to organizations that we need to take into account? How do we improve managerial decision-making through organizational design? We will not focus on how individuals make decisions, but how can you structure organizations so that they can make better decisions? And then we will talk about human resource management policies and how they shape organizational culture and provide strengths or weaknesses for our organization in value creation. And finally, we will talk about how we plan for top management succession. What are some of the top management succession plans so that organizations will continue to succeed and grow? First, we will talk about the organizational life cycle. Then in Module 2, we will talk about managerial decision-making and organizational design. Module 3, we will talk about managing human resources, building culture and identity in organizations. And Module 4, we will talk about top management teams, managerial succession, and organizational consequences. To help you to learn and understand these subject matters, the course has the following elements. You will receive, of course, a video lecture on each of these topics. You will have a set of readings that I want you to pay attention. These readings, some of them are required and some of them are supplemental. And then you will have a short case study to apply some of these ideas into a managerial situation. Then in each module, we will have a set of assessments. These assessments will be based on a graded quiz on the readings and lectures. We will have a graded quiz on the case study. And then we will have a peer-assessed reflection essay based on one of the assigned articles. What I want you to do is to read these articles and try to see whether these ideas are meaningful, applicable, and useful. Again, welcome to our course, Course 2, Managing the Organization. We'll see you later.